Coming to you from sunny Orlando, Florida, welcome to the Paperstac podcast, where we cover current topics in the note industry, give you tactics for your note business, and talk with industry leaders to make you a better note investor. And now, your hosts, Brett Burky and Rick Allen.
Okay, welcome back to the Paperstac podcast. It's been a while, and you may look around and say, wow, that looks completely different, and it is. We got ourselves Papa's got a brand new bag. We got a whole new studio.
Yeah, this is high tech.
It is unbelievable.
Very high tech.
We can literally say so and so turn on the studio and it'll do it. I don't want to say it because it may shut the studio off. But you know the little
device,
Amazon
device.
Alexa. You can say Alexa, turn on the studio, and it works. It turns on the studio. So we're gonna have a follow up video this to kind of go over it and everything. If you're interested in seeing behind the scenes or you want to nerd out a little bit and see cameras we're using, the setup, the mics, all that stuff, and lighting, teleprompters.
Mike is going to be making a video about that, isn't he?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Mike's going to do the video. Brett and I aren't going to do it. I might help host it or do whatever. You know.
I don't know.
But it's going to be really cool because he put a lot of thought into this, and I can tell you this. If it were left up to Brett and I's device to put this together, it would not look like it looks.
It'll be an iPhone on a tripod. That's where
it wouldn't look how it looks now. So new office, new studio. It's nice.
Now we're back in. So we took a couple of days off for not having some stuff. We were out of town, work on the studio. So if you missed us for the last 2 weeks, that's why. But now we're back in the swing of things. And so we're going to make things happen. Rick, tell them what happened at, where did we go?
Oh, so we went to IMN. Liz Brummer put on, Liz and Don. DME.
Yeah.
Yes.
We went to IMN as well.
We did IMN too. IMN was second, and that was not put on by Liz. That was put on by IMN. Mm-hmm. We went to DME, just Mortgage Expo. Diversified Mortgage Expo. Golly, are we going to edit this? No, we're doing it live. We're just going to take it diversified.
I always thought it was a stress. It makes more sense.
Diversified, yes, it was. Liz and Ms. Fawcett put it on. Mm-hmm. And they will no longer be doing that. Nope. It's now fallen into the lap of, they turn it over to Nathan Turner. Yep. So that's pretty
Nathan,
cool.
You got to keep it in Florida, though. We want it in Florida.
Oh, yeah, keep it in Florida. You know what I loved about that? Which it made it really nice because it was Thursday, Friday was DME. Mm-hmm. And then you had Saturday off. Sunday was kind of travel day to Palm Beach. Mm-hmm. And then you're at IMN and you get to go in and Tuesday. And
then I went after that to Fort Myers for another.
Yeah, you had a speaking engagement over there for, what was it for?
It's called TARDIS. It's a way of doing it, income snowballs, and they use lines of credit. It's pretty neat concept.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. So,
what they're doing.
But DME, a lot of, me compared to IMN, DME was a little bit more of an intimate group. It was definitely good. It's a lot of people there. I know a lot of people that are on Paperstac. Enough Altisource was wandering around. Yeah. I didn't expect to see them there,
Richmond Monroe.
Richmond Monroe was there, which was good. They're kind of a bigger player in the custodian, document origination, stuff along with, doc prep, stuff like that.
But we did get to speak with some people that have a good bit of notes that we didn't know before, and they said they're going to be coming on the site. So that will be good for all the Paperstac users that are looking for new assets. We're in the works now. Hopefully, getting these things moving. It's going to take a couple weeks, but
it's interesting.
Going.
Yeah. So I met a guy at DME who was, funnily enough, he had traded, or his family owns 2,000.
Yeah, that's crazy.
2,000 loans. Their portfolio is in excess of $60 million. And guess what? He buys and sells.
I know.
Paperstac, which is great.
Yeah, right.
So it's not just, people are like, oh, it's just small time investors. There's no good deals there. It's like, no, man, this guy he's been acquiring loans. His family has since 75.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy too, because this is why I love these events. You think this guy, he's owned, his family owns 2,000 loans. Been buying since 75. He's from Texas. Mm-hmm. You're like, anybody in Texas probably knows who he is. I talked to Bob Repass from Colonial Funding and Eddie Speed, and they never met the guy. They're from the same state. And Bob has traded.
Yeah, a lot.
Eddie, 30,000 notes. So it's just crazy. So it just goes to show you it doesn't really matter where you go. There's always people out there who you don't know who are buying notes. So
yeah. Any good takeaways from the DME that you thought of?
Takeaways from the DME. It was really great to see BiFi. I'm really excited for by investors for investors, the loan servicing. that's something that I'm really excited for.
What's interesting, we saw Chris 70 and Jamie Bateman. I was like, "You're real. You're real."
Yeah, it was.
Never met him. Talked to him for like 3 or 4 years now.
Yeah, it was the first time
in person. I was like, "Wow, you do have flesh. You are actually real."
It was the first time we got to talk to people and meet people who I feel like they know. Well, I was actually Jamie and Chris's.
That's funny. I told Jamie to make a video where put on that music, dun, 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 have them run to each other. And they didn't do it, but that would have been really funny. I told him I would have edited it and everything, made it look really good. But
yeah, it was.
But that was it. From DME, I'm saying any takeaways I had. I was in the booth the whole time. So I mean, there was a lot of people talking. There's
I was in the booth too.
Yeah. I
was up on stage speaking a little bit about sourcing assets, different ways to get assets. So I don't know. I just thought there was some really interesting speakers there. You know, it was good. It was a good event. I'm looking forward to it next year. I hope they do the same thing and kind of sandwich it up against IMN. Yeah,
I think knock them two out.
Well, it's for us. It was really easy because it's, you know, those spots were, you know, one's an hour and a half and the other's 2.5 hours. So the drive is nice. But when you're bringing in some of the heavy hitters from like California.
Yeah, they don't want to have to fly and then fly back.
No, for a 1.5-day event, you know, 2-day event, it's like, well, if I can put two of them together, then it makes a lot of sense. So
on to IMN. So after this, we packed up and drove down to IMN, which was in Palm Beach. It was a gorgeous hotel. Mm-hmm. And we want to say, you know, shout out to Brian Gray. I know he probably doesn't listen to this, but we got to talk about some interesting things, got to talk with some interesting people that are kind of not guiding, but giving guidance on where we're planning on going with Paperstac. And it was funny. We got done with that meeting. I was like, I'm done. That was it. I'm good.
Yeah, we knocked that out on Sunday afternoon.
Sunday afternoon, I was like, okay, all right. I talked to everyone. That was perfect.
So takeaway, DME, takeaway IMN. Listen, if you're going to a conference and you're not setting up meetings, you're missing. There's tons of good information you're going to find out from the speakers. Mm-hmm. But if you go look at specifically the IMN event, it was at PGA Beach Gardens. It was at the PGA hotel or golf course there, PGA National, I think it is. Into the bar on Sunday,
right?
And the bar was just like Sunday afternoon was starting to fill up. I think we had a 4:00 meeting. Good amount of people there. Mm-hmm. By the time they closed the bar down at 10:00, mm-hmm. Holy cow!
Yeah, it was pretty packed.
It was packed, and it was packed full of people who were attending the event. Nobody had on their name badges at that point, right? Mm-hmm. Which was kind of cool. Because then on Monday, my gosh, the thing was just wrapped with people having meetings. And you could tell the people who were seasoned veterans, they went and they staked out their table early. Mm-hmm. And you just kind of watch them and they just had a rotation of people stopping by, sitting, talking. And you could like clock it. It was either 30 minutes or an hour. Mm-hmm. Oh, they're going to be there 30 minutes. Oh, they're going to be there an hour. And you just watch them do it. But that's really where you're making. So if you're going there, you know, you want to have meetings set up. You don't just want to have meetings to meet people. You can do that at the bar, just talking to them. But you want to have strategic meetings on stuff you're trying to accomplish, stuff you're trying to do and knock out. So definitely, I think that was not a huge takeaway that I didn't know, but it was really pretty interesting to sit there and see it and just watch it happen.
No, I like that.
Participate in it. So
no, that was good. And then, I mean, you know, it is kind of the same sentiment. There's stuff going to be here later, you know, not maybe not tomorrow, but it's coming, you know, so that's a nice thing to understand, you know, because it's like, okay, good. There is stuff coming in the future that we will hopefully have on the platform. And so,
yeah, we start diving into the enterprise and start offering and developing and building out that enterprise solution. The nice thing is whenever you're facilitating an enterprise trade, $10 million, there's roughly 10 to 15,
10% will kick.
10%, 10 to 15% just falls out of the deal.
And so those
it either pays off or doesn't meet the
buy boxes.
The buy box. It does, you know, something about it, they find something, and now they're left with something that institution didn't want to buy. And so it's kind of the tail. What are you going to do with this? What do you do with your kicks? Well, it's great for the tail level. You know, the retailer not trying to securitize a bunch of loans.
Right.
There, you know, if it's missing a HUD statement or something along those lines, it's not a big deal.
It's interesting. So there is stuff for the retail investor as well, because some of these things don't fit the buy box, but it does fit the buy box of a retail investor. So
sure. Like I bought a lot of stuff institutions that they were like, well, why are you buying it? If the institution's selling it, must not be good. Like, man, I'm buying stuff because I can, as a smaller retail investor, I can get in there and I can work on these things in a different way that the big guys can. Plus, if I'm investing my money, I'm more motivated to find out a solution versus I'm an asset manager and I got a stack of files this big and I can't get somebody on the phone. It's going to the bottom of the pile. I keep working on the next one because I'm getting paid on the deal. It's not necessarily my money being,
interesting.
So just a lot of different things. But yeah, there is a lot of stuff that's coming down the pipe. I said it before, like 168 billion. Something like that. 168 billion, 200 billion, somewhere in there. Going to be released from or Fannie.
I didn't know that.
Somebody's releasing it in the fall, September, but that's going to trickle down into the retail marketplace. Another thing that's kind of interesting is one of our investors in the company sent me an email saying, hey, look, there's a lot more deals right now on Pier Street because there's not very many deals available. He goes, I have a feeling it's because it's getting tougher to fund those deals. So that just, it feels kind of, I don't know, feels similar to 2008 rocket ship home prices, stuff along those lines. People are having trouble with getting defunded. Interesting to see what happens. I think for sure as people are I think investors are starting to rebalance the portfolio and opening up slots for the NPLs that are coming.
It's smart. I mean, it's definitely got to plan ahead. Well, that's good stuff. So that was our ventures down to DME and IMN, both great events. And then by the time I went to the other one and got back, I was toast. I was toast. I couldn't even really talk.
Then you had spring break.
But I had spring break. So then I had to take my family to the hotel for 2 days, and which was fun. It just was worn out. So, but that was that. So we're back in the studio. This is the new setup. We're going to have more episodes coming out in the future, something that hopefully will interest you. We're going to probably spread our wings a little bit more and maybe bring on some people to interview, maybe delve out a little bit wider into scope because, Rick is very smart, not only just mortgage notes, but just real estate in general. So we might have Brett. Well, I got to give him a compliment sometimes. Never repays a favor. I
always do. I'd say you're the best. If I was going to go to any conference, you're the guy I want there.
Yeah, I'm going to get one of those business cards that Chris 70 had. Those were pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
You just scan it. It's like a freaking LinkedIn page, but it's not.
You can add to your...
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. That's pretty cool. That was one of my takeaways. But that's it for this one. We'll see you on the next one. And give us your episode ideas, and we'll see you soon. See ya.